I never drink and drive, but when I fly a plane, I have to go through 2 bottles of vodka. A couple of swigs of happy alcohol let me sleep more soundly in the cockpit, but I never, even in my dreams, imagined that this flight would turn into a trip through hell. At the time, the airport was being hammered by a heavy rainstorm, and I'd spent the entire previous night drinking at a bar. I only managed to get on the plane by relying completely on powder to stay alert. After sitting down in the cockpit, I followed my usual routine and ordered a strong cup of coffee, then took 2 deep hits of oxygen. The co-pilot noticed I reeked of alcohol and was a bit worried, but I acted completely calm. I don't know whether it was years of flying experience or the bag of powder from that morning that made me feel excited. After entering the runway, the fierce winds outside shook the aircraft back and forth. My co-pilot was already in a panic, but I became more and more excited. Severe convection caused the entire plane to shake violently, and my solution was to push full power and charge straight out of the clouds. The co-pilot was completely stunned by my operation. At that moment, whatever I told him to do, he did. The passengers were completely terrified. But as sunlight broke through, I immediately pushed the thrust to maximum. Amid the roar of the engines, I successfully delivered everyone above the clouds. The passengers gave me a round of applause, and I handed the plane over to the co-pilot. After that, I poured 2 bottles of vodka into a drink bottle and took a nap in the quiet cockpit. We're going to start descending in a second now.
Well, looks like you'll need to wake him up.
Southjet 227 Atlanta Center, descend and maintain flight level 300.
Center maintain flight level 300, Southjet 227. I never expected to be woken up like this. The plane suddenly went into a rapid descent of 30,000 feet. The co-pilot had already lost control, and the tail of the aircraft seemed to have failed as well. While stabilizing the plane, I reported the situation to the control tower. I figured they might need to prepare for the worst-case scenario. To reduce speed, I told the co-pilot to deploy everything that could be deployed, but the landing gear was blown out of shape the moment it came down. Right after that, I dumped all the fuel from the wings, but the speed only slowed slightly. I could sense that something was wrong with the tail, so there was no way to level the aircraft. At this rate of descent, the outcome would be total annihilation. After that, I told the co-pilot to switch to manual control, and I took full command of the plane.
Oh Lord, we're coming out of 7,000. I see nothing but houses.
In a crisis like this, I prepared to rotate the aircraft 180 degrees and fly it inverted. Because my hands couldn't leave the controls, I handed the task of pushing the throttles to a flight attendant. The co-pilot, whose mind was already blank, was now completely stunned. As I turned the control stick, the plane entered a spiraling descent. I quickly retracted the tail surfaces and deployed the speed brakes. Then, amid the passengers' terror, I successfully flipped the aircraft over